Jabem, how are you doing? It's wonderful to have you here.
Yeah, doing really good. Thanks for having me, guys.
I'm also Glitch Cat. I'm here too.
I was just gonna mention you.
Yeah, I've asked Glitch Cat to be here to help me do commentary, as probably the only other person in the ROM Hack Race Discord who has ever played this game.
This is a really, really phenomenal game. Do you want to mention a little bit about how it was made, or because this game just takes Mario 3 and just absolutely turns it on its head?
Yeah.
In a lot of cool ways.
So Mitch Flower Power made this hack about a year or two, maybe. I think it was about a year ago. At least he finalized it. I was one of the testers for the game, so I had been seeing levels come into my Discord box like every other day for like months. And it's a really, really well thought out and made hack. There's a lot of levels. They're all very short. That's why the name is Mini Kaizo Bros. But he really wanted to put in a lot of SMB3 tech that isn't commonly seen. And a lot of the old Kaizos, like the 2008 Kaizos and stuff like that were really far back, they were just aggressively unpleasant. Because that's how Kaizo was. It was a torture device made to make people do things that were hard. And this one's more of the clean polish that we see more often in SMW these days. It's like the Hollywood hack. Like a Grand Poo World for SMB3.
Which is something that I've personally been waiting for a while. So I have purposely not watched any of this because I want to deliver some of my reactions and thoughts in the middle of this, because again, I remember seeing Mitch working on this, but I never got a chance to see the finished product.
Oh wow, so this is going to be a real treat for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you and Mitch are both really good friends of mine, so I get to see a friend of mine running a game that another friend of mine made. So I am so excited for this.
It's the perfect storm.
Indeed.
All right.
Would you like me to count you down, or?
Yeah, give me a nice 3, 2, 1, and I'll get going.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Do you want to go on 1, or do you want to go on go?
Go.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck and have fun, Jabem.
Well, thank you. Here I go. Level 1, I think, is, I mean, he started us out really, really easy. This was actually a ROM Hack Race channel, or level.
Oh. Using a little bit of cheese there, I'm noticing right off the bat, the Jabem doing this in kind of an unintended way. The munchers turn into blocks when you hit them, and that's an SMB3 thing, is it not?
Yeah, it's only SMB3. Although there is ways to get around it, like you can reskin electrodes and stuff like that.
I remember when this was the ROM Hack Race level, I actually had to do this with the double shell jumps. That's much easier.
Yeah, and a lot of people still do the double shell jump. I think I'm the only person who does it that particular way. Ooh, I have not died there in months. I gotta get the marathon event nervousness out.
So, instead of those big points, notice that Mitch has put a death counter on there instead to keep us honest during the run. I really like what Mitch did with that interface. Also, this does remind me, on a first impression, have you ever seen kind of like the Learn to Kaizo ROM hacks? Because I'm definitely getting that vibe with like kind of these mini levels that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, it's definitely got a lot of that going for it. We knew that there weren't a lot of SMB3 Kaizos for people to even play, so that when people are like, where do I start with it, you basically had Kaizo, SMB3, and Kamikaze Bros, and that was like almost it for a very long time, other than, again, like the final Kaizo and stuff like that, which is much, much, much harder, and involves tech that most people just simply do not know.
Yeah, this game does a really good job of making the situation's pretty obvious, and you kind of like, you learn something, even if you don't know how to do it, you learn what it is because that's the only thing to do in a lot of cases. It does a good job sort of teaching the player.
It's very good at guiding people. This boss, he had a little bit of an oversight here. You could just like stand here and beat him.
Oh, I remember this. Good cheese.
Oh, yo,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Orb.
Ah, yes, the orb.
I can tone it down on the orbs.
No, I just think it's funny. I remember that from AGDQ, the SMB3 mix run. And thinking it was funny that, you know, SMB3 had the orb first reference in that particular event. So it's just a little callback to me, having some nostalgia.
Yeah, this game has a lot of customizations similar to SMB3, but kind of takes a more Kaizo approach to everything and kind of forces these different tricks and things, where SMB3 is a lot of, I wouldn't call it vanilla, but it acts like a vanilla game.
Yeah, definitely. Almost all of the level construction is purely vanilla. The small ASM changes that have been made are pretty much isolated to very specific levels. I think this is like the level of chocolate that I personally like. There is some chocolate in here, but I don't think we've even seen any of it yet. It's got a custom boss, which is super chocolate, but I'm always fine with that for bosses.
And keep in mind, too, that chocolate in SMB3 is a really difficult thing to pull off, and that might be one of the contributing reasons to why there hasn't been so much of it thus far. Is because SMB3 rather, is just like maxing out the NES capabilities more or less all the time. So making it do anything else or anything different is a little bit more of a task.
Yeah, a lot of code in SMB3 is reused in places that you would not expect it to be. So if you're trying to change anything at all, it becomes a huge chore, and you might change something you're not intending to.
That was a great clear, by the way, using that P-speed. Mitch loves the, I mean, obviously being MFP, does a lot of stuff with P-speed and knows like every P-speed trick in the book.
I'm gonna be honest, I think this is the most jank level in the game. Like,
yeah, what's going on with the shells in the water there? It slows them down?
Yep. They move,
I don't even remember.
They move slower in the water. I think it's the slide speed, though, that makes it really difficult, because the speed you're getting isn't constant at all. It's got like a little bit of an oscillation when you're going down it, and you have to vary your jump depending on which speed you ended up jumping with.
And that's a little bit trickier in SMB3 because I think I'm right, there is no slow fall in SMB3.
Correct.
Or it's very, there's none at all.
There's none at all, yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So you're working more with jump trajectories and timing and where you're leaving the ground and P-speed management, as opposed to articulating a jump once you've already left the ground with a regrab like in SMW Kaizo.
Right. They did make regrabs in like one of the hacks that came out recently, but it's such a foreign concept to SMB3, and it's very strange because you have to just do things differently with the NES in order to add things to like controller inputs and stuff like that. They were very particular when they coded it. I've done a little bit of ASM myself, and just doing really simple stuff has been hilariously difficult sometimes. Like, I wanted to change the beginning text on worlds, and you can't do that because it's reusing the code everywhere. It's the same message everywhere, so you would just change it for everything.
I love how the path forms, too, when you get to that mushroom house. That's something that SMB3 didn't have naturally. Hey, wait a minute. You were supposed to get that other hammer guy.
What?
Yeah, I just instead despawned him.
Nice.
Oh,
So-
Does that work in the real SMB3?
if you could, but every Hammer Bro level is one screen, so...
Yeah.
And I showed that to Mitch, like, as soon as he made that level, and he was like, I'm fine with it.
I'm seeing this fight with Boom Boom, and all I can think of is what would happen if you had to do a fight. If you remember those platforms from 7.6 where you can change the direction of them, I really hope Mitch does something with that, because that would be a really neat concept for a fight.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oops.
So I have to ask, is the palette here is really, really neat. Is this like an intentional kind of Mirkwood from Grand Poo World, or?
I don't know if it was intentional, but it does give me that vibe now that you mention it.
Yeah, the purple lava. I love that jump up through the little block guy too. Is like a hitbox manipulation, or?
It's just a very strange hitbox for falling things, especially when they're falling fast.
Do you have to use that little the hitbox manipulation to get up there, or?
Yeah, you pretty much do.
Kind of moving right up through that one from the bottom.
Mm-hmm. You pretty much have to. What I'm having trouble with here is I'm hitting that particular jump at a very strange angle, and if I hit the ceiling, I know I'm going to get bat down into the munchers. So I have to actually let go of jump before I hit the ceiling.
Do you have time for a couple of quick donations?
Sure.
All right, we have $40 from Volcara, who says, as promised, here's $40. Good luck to the rest of the runners and organizers. And we have a $50 donation from Bearcat Girl, who says, go Jabem! The dome made me appropriate sacrifices to the chain chomp gods. I appreciate that. Marcy donates $1, saying, nice. Appreciate that, y'all.
Thanks, guys. I don't know if you noticed, but I have a cheese for this level that nobody else had found before.
I recall this one taking me a long time when I played it, and I seem to recall some terror involving this jumping guy and the note block there.
Yeah, it's not that bad once you learn some of the little pillars, eccentricities, I guess.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, he's tough. I can do it the real way, but that way is so consistent that I can't not do it. Ah! I never hit that Kaizo block when I'm doing this on my own. Oops.
That's never happened before.
It's like, that's the easy part of the level, usually.
No, Jabem, you're nailing like the vast majority of these tricks in a marathon setting. I can't believe how consistent you are at some of these more difficult things.
Yeah, I think that after doing a long time of like mostly SMB3 mix stuff on my channel, I've mostly just been doing Kaizo, so I've had a lot of time to improve in that domain. You can actually just wall jump here too, but again, sometimes it's faster to just do the cheese that basically always works, except when I'm here.
It's not to be understated the difference between SMB3 and SMW, especially which just gets more pronounced when there's Kaizo involved. It's the same idea. You're still Mario. You're still doing the Mario things, but the physics and more importantly, like the kinds of priorities you have when you're moving and looking at a situation, all of that changes between Mario World and Mario 3. They're comparable, but it's not just like playing guitar or playing bass. Well, I mean, maybe it kind of is. I don't know, is that a good analogy or a bad analogy?
That actually sounds like a pretty good analogy. It's like I watched... Oh, go ahead.
We had another donation come in real quick here with $10 from Kangaroos Are Cool. Love your name, by the way. You had to have it, the big Kaizo block.
Oh, thanks, Kanga. She knows I love a good Seinfeld reference.
Wait, the big Kaizo block?
Yeah.
That just made me think, because SMB3 has those giant question blocks. What if there were giant big Kaizo blocks?
Oh my god.
And they were extra big. Can we have that in everything? Can we have that in Mario World?
I will speak to the powers that be.
Wait a second, I would have read that like George Costanza complaining about Elaine's big salad had I known that was the reference.
I don't see how you didn't realize it was the reference.
You had to have it, the big Kaizo block! There you go.
When you hit the block and fall down the pit, it just goes, hello!
Oh my god. Oh.
This level is pretty wild with the wraparound and the shells that you need to kind of send through into those pits. Or buckets, rather, as we call them.
Yes, we call them buckets. I actually found this cheese for this level as well, where you don't actually need to do the last shell jump that Mitch intended for you to do. And that I have not seen in a very long time. That can happen, but if you go between those two munchers, normally you're not going to have any problems.
So, honest question here, Jem. You don't have to answer this. Did falling on 5-2 all those times kind of prepare you for this level?
Not really.
It's the only only time I can think of, like, when you would need to position yourself for falling. Because let's face it, all of us have taken that fall of shame at 1.52.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're trying to make that bounce, you have to deal with the no blocks, and suddenly you're falling. And I can't help but think of the fall of shame when I see this.
I think this may actually be from that base level, but who knows. Oh, wow. But I have a friend who happens to make a lot of levels that involve falling through spike mazes. Oh, I did it again.
You got this.
I didn't think that this was going to be a level that we were going to get stuck at for a while, but any level can spiral in this game. And it's always in World 3, it feels like. Something in World 3 just goes weird.
Would you say World 3 is a little fishy?
Oh, yes. Exactly.
Aww, glitch cat.
One up me on the puns with the donation, chat. I dare you.
Well, we do have a nice one here. We have
Oh.
nom 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 donating $39 saying nice to take our total up to $4,469.69. That's a lot of nice.
Oh,
right there.
that is pretty cool. Good job, guys. Did y'all coordinate that? That's cool. I'm surprised I one-shot that level. It's not terribly difficult level, but it's like it's so easy to accidentally like frame perfectly grab one of those throw blocks, or any number of things.
Yeah, or I was thinking standing too close to one of the breakable blocks as you're throwing a shell, and instead just killing the shell rather than breaking the block. That happens in SMW too.
Mm-hmm.
Or well, the shell doesn't kill, but the block doesn't pop.
Yeah, there's just a surprisingly large number of things that can occur in that level that can slow you down.
I see Mitch has a love for overworld boats. I appreciate that, given that you never get to see that in the speedrun, and Mitch kind of added that nice touch there. I like it when people add really cool touches like that to the overworld. You don't get to see it a ton, and through the magic of ROM hacks, we do get the opportunity to see that. There's something that I always like that the community does, is adding those little things.
And if you noticed, he gave the boat a motor that it did not have before, because it's a speedy boat.
Aww.
What a nice touch.
Oh, I brushed the wall.
I gotta say, there's something I just absolutely love about the desert aesthetic. Like this background and this kind of like layered, background tiles, object tiles. I love this desert Mario 3 aesthetic. There's just something about it. Maybe it's the angry sun. That we all, Mario 3. You think of Mario 3, you think of the angry sun, you think of the desert. But I've always, it's been my favorite theme.
I like it too. I like it when you put it in dark mode. I don't know if you've ever seen. I don't know how many levels have that, but you can do outside desert levels at night, and it looks really cool.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Technically, the fort in World 2 uses that palette, but it's a fort, so most people probably don't notice.
Oh, wow. Today I learned.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, right, actually.
You can put little trees in there just like this, and it's got little sand blocks.
Yeah, because it's and they're gray. Yup. That's interesting.
I had always wondered why that palette was only used exactly once in all of Mario 3.
Yeah, it's curious, isn't it? Ah, thank God. That is a level I spiral on constantly.
You handled it well.
I like how every time you get the hammer at the end, you're stuck behind a Kaizo block. And that's a way that Mitch just put in to kind of make the player do what they needed to do on the overworld, is having those hammers and the blocks that you break.
This is the infamous level of the game, of course. The chain chomp riding level.
Man, I didn't... You know what? I played this game and I haven't even really thought about it until right now, and I remember this level. Oh, man.
I'm not holding the D-pad right now.
Why would Mitch do this?
Because it's funny. The only thing that's messed up about this level is that the chain chomp's vertical speed can exceed the hitbox calculation of whatever it is, and he can go straight through your stomp occasionally, which has not been the case yet. All of these have been my fault, but yeah, it can happen where you can just get some unfair deaths on this level.
You know, the little and as you watch Jabem do this, look at the little left rights that he's doing. Those, well, not right there.
That was my
yeah, thanks. Look at the completely natural, flawless movement here, but a lot of the little micro adjustments that are being made. The phase that the chain chomp is jumping at is very, very fast, and so to be able to react and make those little left-right micro adjustments in the air, or know that you're locked into a position where you can neutral on the D-pad, that is a high degree of skill.
There we go.
I was gonna say, I didn't want to break that focus. I could only imagine what your face looked like during that Jabem, just that intense focus that you needed for that.
Yeah, that level is definitely one where you can either spend a very long amount of time in there, or you can kind of crush it really fast once you get used to the left-rights.
Quick donation here. We have $1 from Voltaire, who says, now people have to donate more to get the total back to a good number. I see what you did there. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So this is a special mushroom house. It gives you your odds of getting a hammer based on your coin count. So if you have 99, you have basically 100% odds. We have 78. It's almost never worth it to actually like farm your coin count to a correct level and then do all the overworlding to get here. You just kind of come here and you hope you'll... This is really incredible. This is terrible luck. Because 78 coins isn't bad. We should be good.
That just made me think of something else that would be rad for Mario 3 hacks, would be do something with the coin chip that appears, and then you have to do the little 11 coin trick and the blocks to get the coin chip to get a level.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool. You can do that pretty easily. You can make the part where you have to get the coin chip pretty easily. I'm not sure how easy it is to do exactly that, but the first part would be pretty good.
I just love the coin chips.
I like the idea of coin chips, you know?
I know they're not very useful for the speedrun, but, you know, it's just free, and you just get to grab coins, and the sun is shining, you know, you get that nice coin-getting sound. Boom, 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 boom.
I like white mushroom houses, too. Like, I wish that were more frequent. Oh my god, yeah. Wendy. Wendy is scary. She's definitely...
It's a difficult room to be fighting Wendy in, because those orbs that she shoots out have more stuff to ricochet off of in the regular vanilla game. Nice one-shot.
So close.
But in the regular vanilla game, that room is just empty, so those orbs have a lot more room to move around, and here they're clustered up a little bit, so you can get cornered easily.
Yep. World 4 is very special. It's a shorter world, and it's got a very special guest star. The Soul Generator. Yeah, Mitch threw in a bunch of really crazy lore into this game that I don't think a lot of people ended up reading, but like, you've got a bunch of souls like getting taken out of people, and like World 8 locks you out if you have too much soul lost or something like that. It's pretty wild. Oh, Jesus.
You know, I gotta say, because I like to point this out while you're jumping on these red spinny platforms, for the purposes of your bounce combo, they don't count as ground. That's a little known fact I feel about SMB3, because nobody ever uses it to go fast. But if you were to just jump on Koopas coming out of a pipe and always land on one of those red spinny platforms, you could get a one-up combo from that.
Huh. I actually didn't know that.
Platforms, yep, that don't count as ground. One is those, and the other is the brown platforms on lines. Also, that was a really nice jump, kind of letting the spinning platform on the top there spin you down a little bit and then getting that air jump. What?
That's 100%. I have to get all the secrets.
I didn't even know about this secret.
The background, too, is something very unique. I don't think I remember a stage with a brown background like this.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's normal. I think that because the overworld here got changed to brown, that it changed some other things to brown. We get another hammer that we never get to use.
So I noticed you've got a Juguma Cloud in your inventory. This is 100%, but for any percent, you would strategically use those to skip some levels, right?
Yeah, it is useful for exactly one level. And that's the fort in World 8. Other than that, we'll just be safe here. I think that the clouds don't actually get used anywhere, and the extra hammers. Mostly because any percent now is just like a couple of worlds. Oh, Jesus.
Whistles in this game?
There are whistles. There's a whistle in level 1, but it's really hard to get to, and it's, again, only useful in one run type. You can dupe items really easily in this game, too, and there's a lot of like really broken stuff like a task could do, so any percent could get super broken someday if someone really grinded it out, I think. But right now, you at least have to do like the back half of the game.
This delicious looking Baja Blast lava.
Yeah, I really like the look in this level, actually. It's a much harder level than most people give it credit for. Although I think this might be like one of those Glitch Cat levels. Like sometimes I see a level and I'm like, Glitch Cat would be good at this.
It's got shells. And it's got Baja Blast, you know, the lava with 50% more radical energy than most.
Something that a lot of people who play mostly SMW might realize watching this is that the shells in this game move like freaking rockets. They move really fast. Comparatively.
Yeah, I want to say that SMB3 shells move a little bit quicker than Mario World, but that may just be perceptually.
I'm pretty sure it's true. Oh, Jesus. I did not mean to do that. Then again, I would have just walked off into spikes anyways, so... Either way, that was a mistake.
And that's something a little bit tricky that you have to watch out for, because you're kicking that first shell into the pit, and it's going to break those two blocks that are preventing it from moving through the gap. But even, like, you can see the block on the edge of the screen in the capture even, but it doesn't break unless the block is fully on the screen, and that can kind of mess up with the timing and make that a little bit harder. That you think it's going to break, and you think that the period of the shell is going to do one thing, but it didn't actually break that block because it wasn't completely on screen.
Right. Ah! I didn't get to jump! This is another spiral level, unfortunately. Because it's so fast, too. Like, you get to the end over and over again.
That's something nice about the mini format, is that with no checkpoints, I mean, you can have them now with trickery, but with no checkpoints in this, the levels are just, you just have to play it straight through. And so having it be a little bit shorter makes it a little bit easier to get through some of them and not make it such a grind.
Yeah, definitely.
You get deep runs at this every single time.
Oof. I'm getting some weird throws here, too. Like, you gotta watch out, there's a Kaizo block that I'm avoiding there. Which may be confusing if you haven't seen it before, but you have to do a very particular jump to the final platform there. One of the most nitpicky jumps in the whole games.
Yeah, when that's something else that can be really different, kind of throw people for a loop between SMW and SMB3 is I call it boosting. I don't know if other people use that, but when you hold jump when you land on an enemy and you get a big jump off of that, you get that boost. SMB3 just boosts you all the way up. You get such a large amount of lift and hang time, whereas SMW you do, but not quite as drastic. They seem to have dialed it back a little bit. So kind of dialing in one or the other can be a little bit tricky sometimes.
Yeah, your max height off of an enemy in SMB3 is way higher than your regular max height jump.
I wonder why they did that, kind of. They were like, well, like, SMB1, you know, you're just jumping on a bunch of enemies, and Mario 2, you don't even jump at all. So Mario 3, we're just going to make you jump so high, it's going to be like, how do we make Mario's powers even better? Like, just make him jump really high.
Maybe someone complained, like, after Mario 2. They were like, look.
All the angry letters to Nintendo. Excuse me, when I jump on a Goomba, I do not get an appropriately satisfying amount of hang time. Please rectify this.
I mean, technically they had hang time in both the J and the US version for SMB2. In the J version, just play Luigi. Luigi jumps pretty high, especially off of Goomba. And in U, if you play Peach or Luigi, there should be more than enough airtime, I would think.
That's true. That is a very, very fair point. But check this boss out. This is not from SMB3. We gotta mention this guy.
He's got some very crazy patterns he can do.
Yeah, quite a bro. Fully custom too. Who made this one?
I believe that Joe Smo made him mostly, with some help from some other people. I almost got a triple there. I find that it's best to just take a couple of deaths with a very aggressive strat and possibly get like a lot of early hits.
So yeah, by hanging out on top of his head there, you're just kind of bouncing and waiting out his iframes to spam hits, right?
And you can see him...
Just like Kaizo 3 Bowser, he's got like different attack phases and patterns and stuff. He's going to do the drop or spin around or throw hammers or something.
Yeah, and you can see him look left and right before he's going to jump. So you kind of know. So the only thing that really gets me a lot of times is like the thwomp there. The thwomp is really tough. And the part where he does the stomps, that's really difficult to compensate for, I guess, if you're doing the bounce on his head a bunch strat like I'm doing right now.
Yeah, when he goes into that roll too in his shell, he's really moving.
Oh, hammers are tough too because they look just like boomerang throws. And
I like that he has all the powers of all the Hammer Brothers. He's got the fire, he's got some boomerangs, and he's got regular hammers. He's fully equipped, and he's got a freaking power wand, it would seem.
Yeah, he drops thwomps with a wand, it seems. That is a lot of stomping. That's tough to deal with.
I wonder what the magic wands like actually do. You know, all the kings have them, the Koopa Kids stole them, but besides just kind of making some dangerous little donuts that bounce around, what is that? It is really like what are the wands?
Also, what is the intended purpose? If
all
of it seems pretty aggressive.
It's true.
Oh, that was awesome. That whole boss in general, I'm very impressed with everything I just saw there.
Yeah, this game is very cool and well made, and at the time especially, this is made with the old editor. Like that's hard for me to even think about. Oh, that happens sometimes.
Well, this is a stage.
I love this Knights overworld background. The Mario 3 overworlds just they look so cool. I know we're all used to SMW and it's all bright and colorful and stuff, but Mario 3 just has such a nice vibe, you know? It's just you can vibe on this overworld.
Yeah, I definitely like the SMB3 overworld the best. Even though it's like, I don't know, it's a little weird how blocky it is. Everything's got to be right angles and movements of 2. But SMW, I mean, it's like all free movement. It's kind of crazy.
Yes, for everyone who just came in from the raid, first of all, thank you for being here. Second of all, this is Hack Attack. We're raising money for direct relief. And we have Jabem here playing some mini Kaizo Bros 3, and very well, too.
Well, thank you.
I also have Glitch Cat. I don't want to forget about Glitch Cat this time, because Glitch Cat's going to give me a hard time. Be like, what about me? So,
never again.
Glitch Cat's here, too.
I'm here. Oh, the boot. Oh, I'm so excited. I love this one. Oh, look at him. Look at him go. Look at the fast boot. Isn't it neat? So what is this? This is just the boot, but the horizontal speed is just like drastically increased.
The horizontal speed is just set to always be max. That's all that changed.
I love that. Yep, and so using that, you can clip into walls and get those vertical jumps like that and get these long ones. And we all know about the regular boot jump where you hop along the ground as you're walking, and if you hop off an edge, you have a jump stored until you want to use it. It's just like a vanilla SMB3 like air boot trick.
Yeah. Sometimes though you just don't clip into the wall the way you're expecting to with this. I don't really know when it should and shouldn't, but if you like just hold right into a wall for a really long time, you'll notice you'll just fall down. So it's not super consistent, but it's like very close to consistent. So Like,
that's just how it works IRL too. Sometimes when I hold a wall long enough, I do fall down. That is just how it works in real life.
and that little wiggle I did into the lava there, that's a new strat.
Ooh.
That's
Yeah, I remember that part giving me a lot of trouble on my playthrough because I just could not figure out that I wanted to lose the boot and get through that, and I tried to make that jump so many times and I just could not do it.
We do have a donation. We have $30 from Shujo. No comment, but thank you very much for your donation. We appreciate you.
oh, that's nice. Oh crap! You ever just not jump far enough?
All the time.
One time I didn't even jump at all.
Wow.
I like that one, that trick there. So Jabem wants to keep P-Speed through that section because it's the only way he'll be able to make those jumps, but having to do that little left-right turnaround to avoid colliding with the Goomba while holding the shell, and doing those little left-rights to maneuver and keep your P-Speed is like a very classic Super Mario 3 trick.
We have another donation. We have $69 from Abe Lincoln, who says, nice. And that does take us up to $4,569.69, and that is going to put us under $500 away from the 100 Rooms of Kuso incentive. So if you would like to see 100 Rooms of Kuso, please be sure to get those donations in. 5,000 is the target we're going for.
Oh crap.
So this is water. And that should kind of tell us all we need to know, right?
Yeah, this is one of those levels that I really hope to get out quickly because I can physically hurt my hands on this level with all the mashing from the swim.
Yeah, SMB3 water is like, I don't know how to describe it, but it feels heavy. You know, you don't get a lot of upward lift, and so you're just like tap, 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 like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're so used to in Super Mario World, when you carry an item underwater, you like zoom with like a P-switch under the water in Super Mario World. So this is, yeah, I think heavy is a great way to explain water physics in Super Mario Bros. 3.
All the way to the end, and then I missed the easy shell jump.
Yeah, so the idea there is to actually, Jabem wants to avoid that mushroom because otherwise they wouldn't be able to get through. And then the idea is to, activate those Kaizo blocks in order to stop the shell from moving so that you can get it and bring it to the end to do that little turn back off the wall.
There's also a significant risk of despawning this shell, which is why you have to slow down at that one point.
Yeah, this was a tricky level to figure out. I think you might have actually came in my chat and told me the answer.
Oh, wow. I wasn't moving fast enough. That would have been fine. But sometimes you have momentum in the water, and as you tap A, you keep your speed, but occasionally it just disappears. Like all your speed does.
Even if you don't bonk into something?
Yep.
Awkward.
And the places to kill yourself in this level are not very good.
Yeah. So this is a difficult, I want to point out the difficulty of what you're trying to do with that shell. He's going down and getting the shell and then bringing it up to that breakable block. He wants to be close enough when he throws the shell so that it'll break the block and go through Mario without killing Mario. Can't be too far away, but then if you're too close, you'll just destroy the shell and the block won't actually break at all. And so that's it's a difficult position to get yourself right into, to be just close enough away that you'll do what you want to do and not what you don't want to do. Because you know when you got good football players, no, just kidding.
I'm starting to hurt my hands.
The hitbox is also on the shell itself is very awkward. We've seen several times where it looked like Jabem was going to hang on to the shell and then just death out of nowhere.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, those turnbacks though, and that's and again, I don't mean to bring it up constantly, but the difference between SMB3 and SMW, what might look like a standard angle, like in an SMW jump, is not. You basically have to do shell jumps like that completely differently in SMB3 mechanics. Oh, nice! That was really good.
The back throw though is usually the easier one. Ah, that was good. It's just I actually threw it too close, so the shell has like a certain number of frames after you throw it where you can't jump off of it. I think that's in SMW too, though.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of a thing, and you get that in other, like, even like New Soup and things. And I think it's kind of just like a quality of life thing on the part of Nintendo. Even Mario 1 had it, where like you're just not, if you kick it too close, it's just basically to work in the player's favor, so that normal. Because remember, we're making these games into ridiculously hard stuff, and normally normal players aren't trying to do shell jumps. Also, nice job. But yeah, it's kind of work in the player's favor so they don't just hit themselves with shells all the time.
I mean, we use it a lot to like make people run into stuff.
Yeah, it can really go both ways, which is another one of those things that I just love about Kaizo and hacking like this so much, is that certain things like that, like the shell passing through, we can take that and turn it on its head and turn it into an obstacle where you either do or do not need to do exactly that, when it was just supposed to be some nice thing to help the player.
So I did want to bring attention to one thing. I believe this is 5-9's palette, that diagonal scrolling level we've all come to love, you know, in air quotes. But that is this at night, and you can see the little cloud platforms. They're very difficult to see that Jabem's jumping on. I really like this palette glitch. It definitely adds a new level to it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like a world theme that wasn't really available in SMB3. We never got like Stormy Night, so this is cool to see. Nice that ROM hacking is something I've always loved. Can just give new environments. It's a new environment, but it's made out of familiar stuff. And there's something I love about that, you know, just like, ooh, new palette in Mario, like that's exciting.
This is another secret ending to a level. We go back here and now we have access to level 4, hardest level in the game. And we got a cloud.
Oh,
I wasn't sure what we were going to see. When you said hardest level in the game, I'm like, wait, is Jabem serious? Nah, it's one of those levels.
He just avoided 50 Kaizo blocks, and every cloud he didn't step on was lava, secretly.
Ooh. I consider this the level that I'm the worst at and always forget to practice.
So, the background again, speaking of the background, this may look vaguely familiar. This is 7F2. You know, we have piranha plants, we have lava, we have a dark background. I mean, nothing screams 7F2 more than this vibe right now.
It's a good point. I never thought about it, but I'm pretty sure you're right. This probably is 7F2. I'm jumping right into this shell.
Yeah, this was a hard enough level in the vanilla game, and oh yay, now it scrolls.
Oh my goodness, no, this is not happening right now. There's no way.
Oh yeah. There we go, second try.
Really nice effect, actually. Stand on that platform and wait. It's dynamic. I like levels that have like almost a cinematography to them. You know, like the movie shot of standing and then you get the big reveal as it scrolls up.
The balls keep saving him. Ah!
So Mitch wrote environments that would be absolutely optimal for all the Koopa Kids. I really like this innovation here.
Yeah, it's really hard to do anything with the Koopa Kid rooms. Surprisingly, a lot of code in SMB3 is just dedicated to these rooms, or at least the kids themselves.
Yeah, that's pretty common with a lot of Mario bosses, especially in Mario 2 and Mario World as well. It's like the boss's behavior is written just for the room that they're in, and it's really hard to do anything else with that because they do that one thing and nothing else.
Wait, am I reading that lore right? If you cannot challenge Bowser if you have more than 1,000 deaths?
Yep. He'll kick you out of the game.
What?
World 8 won't even let you play it.
Oh my gosh.
I found that out the hard way when I got the playthrough.
Poor glitch.
I would have loved to see that reaction.
These hand levels are a little harder than standard hands, but they're still pretty handy.
Is it still RNG whether or not you get the level handed to you?
Yep, and but we're doing 100%, so we're zoning in to the ones that even if we don't get handed. What sucks is that if you get handed the first time, it's gonna keep handing you over and over again, which makes you lose time on every attempt.
Oh yeah, because then you're forced to, you just have to play the level.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you have to play it anyways in 100%, but I mean that there's the little animation where the hand comes up, although it's a tornado in this game, and it physically grabs you, which takes extra time.
Okay, so I do have something to say about this level. So, back in the first installment of SMB3, there were these lost levels, and this act reminds me of a palette, where it was half water, half not water, and it was a water scroller in World 6's palette, and I think that's what this is based off of.
I almost did an accidental clip there.
Yeah, there's even the golden fish there that's from that level. That's awesome that Mitch used innovation from one of the lost levels. Very much appreciated.
How do you mean lost level? Was that a hack or?
No, it was in the game's original makeup. Nintendo never used it and then just kind of left it sitting there in the programming, and when Mario 3 Randomizer was developed, Fred Coughlin actually unveiled those lost levels. Now, we did see this, I believe, in one of the advanced games. There was an e-card reader that allowed you to go back and play that. I believe that's one of the only ways you can play it in the original Nintendo games is through that e-card reader for the advanced version. But yeah, there were these dormant levels within the original cartridge that never got used. Unused coding, yes, thank you. Thank you.
Interesting.
Yeah, some of them didn't even have endings.
Yeah, apparently Mario World had a few of those too. It's really cool.
Yeah. Well, that's also like how on the back of the box of Mario 3 it shows an image of a level that doesn't exist in the game. Did anyone ever notice that? There's a level, there's a Parabeetle level that's pictured on the back of the box that isn't real. It's not in the game.
Well, who would want a Parabeetle level?
Yeah, look at the back of the box. It's right there, and I always because I remember seeing it and being like, oh, when am I gonna get to that level? Thanks.
They really disappointed you there.
Yeah.
False advertising.
Excuse me, I purchased this video game under the assumption that I'd get to play the level depicted on the box. Imagine my disappointment with every game for Atari 2600 matching up to how it looked on the box.
Oh, wow. So this level is the only way we can use a cloud here at all. And it's just to cheese it a little bit. Because otherwise...
Oh, because now you get to come here with the damage boosts.
Yeah. It doesn't even really help that much. But it helps a little bit.
Yeah, because you get to take the damage boost from the previous level.
Well, also because you physically have to die if you have the fire flower in level 2 here. So it would just take time to lose the power-up.
Oh, that's really clever, actually.
Ooh, I clipped into the ceiling.
So you get dual utility out of that, and you don't waste time.
Mm-hmm.
Very clever routing.
It's really funny how, most of this game, the optimization just comes from, just not dying. But, occasionally we just find these hyper-optimized, little route changes.
I like how the pipes are used as an escape route if you get stuck. That was pretty clever programming on Mitch's part.
Mm-hmm.
I love that level so much. I love all of Mitch's P-Speed run levels so much because it's something... When you play, one of Mitch's P-Speed runs, you know someone who's really, really good at this, made this. It's like getting to hear a song by a really good composer, you know what I mean? They always flow so well. The jumps are always so smooth. SMB3 P-Speed is, just wonderful, honestly.
Where is the life check for this, Jabem? I saw you just entered World 8, and I didn't see something to check, you know.
We would have gotten a message just at the beginning if we hadn't gotten it.
What does it look like, Glitch Cat?
It's got a boot, and he clipped into a pipe, doing the little 7-1 thing, clipping in from the upper part of the pipe. That was good.
I find that just easier. Instead of trying to deal with the speed of the boot, I just hit left into a wall and it's safe. But I think she was asking what the message looks like that bars you from.
Oh, I think it says. I think it just says something like you. I don't even remember. It just like taunts you basically.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I haven't seen it in forever.
I just wanted to know. I wanted to know Mitch's sense of humor on that because you know Mitch has a way of going about things.
I think it says something like you need the power of so many souls to challenge the king or something. I'm not really sure. It it stays in character for its lore.
Something oddly high concept.
I love that P-speed jump right off the cloud. You're rising up from below the cloud, and then if you jump again soon enough, the game doesn't check whether or not you're... Because it only checks every... How many frames if you have P-speed?
I think it's...
So you can do like a really quick jump and probably avoid that check and maintain it off that jump.
Yeah, I think it's like 8.
This is a really good question from chat. If you get over 1,000 deaths during World 8, do you get kicked out or are you just permanently in as long as you were under at the start?
Oh, it's fine if you get it after.
Okay.
Nice pipe!
Yo, that clip! That looked really awesome, Jabem.
Well, thank you.
Oh, here we go. Nice 4-3 palette here. Interior 4-3.
Ooh.
Looks pretty.
Having a weird... Sometimes you just have a moment with these things. Oof. Alright, I'm gonna change the way I'm sitting.
The Buzzy Beetles that fall from the ceiling is just an underutilized thing in Mario hacking in general.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of fun stuff you can do with that, and like only like Mitch and Morsel have really done anything.
I know something that you don't, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. But you're going to be happy soon if you like that.
Alright, yeah. Is it a shell level?
It could be.
Love shell levels.
If you're playing the grocery run, you'll see something that uses dropping beetles.
That's exciting, but I just get curbside these days. Oh, curbside pickup at the grocery store.
Oh, I got it.
I got that.
Dang. I'm going to take my seat now, sir.
Oh, I love you, Glitch Cat. It's okay.
Yeah, I echo that sentiment.
This is such a nice level with these nice bounce combos and movement through the castle. I love the movement in this one.
Ooh, using the conveyor belt stuff, but that's the thing about Mario 3. Like, yes, Super Mario World has a lot of stuff, but I feel like Mario 3 has so many unique elements that separate... Oh my gosh, nice step. Separates that from Super Mario World. One of those things being just a lot of clipping. A lot of clipping in Mario 3.
Yeah, it's sort of like the theory of clips is different, and P-speed management is its own monster in Mario 3 that like Mario World doesn't. What I think like what regrab nuance is to Mario World, that's kind of like what P-speed management is to Mario 3. It's like a very unique thing that only that game does, and something that you can get exceptionally good at with understanding and timing.
That was really disappointing because I did the room that I consider the hard room, and then I died in like the easy room. I just lost an input.
So we have $5 from RV Pimlico that says, oops. And I think the oops is we broke the nice.
Oh.
I always appreciate that. We gotta get back to nice now. Also, the stretch boos are used here. We have the sideways swamps. We have rotodiscs. Again, just so many different enemies in this game in particular that you can work with.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of unique enemies that are so good that SMW had to hack them into their game.
I am in this picture. Would you like to tag yourself in the
I'm gonna report this picture. It's too relevant to me. We also get the nice conveyor belts here. We don't even get to see that much in the vanilla version of SMB3.
Oop.
I think conveyor belts have a lot more weight and cool usage in Mario 3 because you can use them to charge P-Speed like that. Whereas in Mario World, I mean, you got them, but they just push you around or make it so you can or can't run, you know?
Alright, that was very good for a fort.
Wow. Yeah, I was gonna say, this fortress reminds me, like, obstacle-wise, it's a hybrid between the final fortress in World 6 and then the final fortress in World 8.
That was just for fun. And by that, I mean I made a mistake.
Hey, you know what? That's a happy little cloud. That's, as far as I've been told, a happy accident.
Okay.
What do you have to do as a result now, Jabem?
So, this is a code we have to put in. And I know the code, so I can just go right in. And the boss, he takes more damage based on how many coins you're holding. So you can come here and refill all your coins on this little bush.
What?
Man, as soon as I find that bush IRL, we're gonna have the best party.
Ooh, yeah, he got me. And every time Bowser hits you, you lose coins.
Yeah, this is a really interesting way to do Bowser, and this, I feel like something like this would come out of Mitch's imagination because he doesn't stomp through the floor, so you've got to do the fire kill here.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting two fireballs there so close together.
Yeah, also the Bowser is also throwing hammers and seems to be a little bit faster. And if I recall correctly, the issue with the bottom of Bowser's hitbox was corrected.
Yep.
Yeah, normally in the vanilla game,
not that it would help anyways.
Bowser actually doesn't exist, so you can just crouch. Most people have seen that. That was corrected in this and subsequent Mario 3 hacks.
He's definitely shooting his fireballs a lot quicker than I'm used to.
He mad.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go back for coins pretty soon. You can get this with like 80, 90, or 70, something like that, pretty easily. Yeah, there we go. But once you get down to like the 60s, low 70s, you probably want to go and refill your coins because you're just not killing Bowser with as many fireballs.
Oh my goodness. Get your GGs out for Jabem, by the way. Jabem, where can people find you if they want to watch? And what else do you stream besides ROM hacks? Twitch.tv/JabemX. Really, I stream almost exclusively SMB3, ROM hacks, and speedruns of ROM hacks and Kaizo. So that's pretty much all I do. I do level creation streams a lot now too, if you want to figure out how to make these levels. So I've been doing a lot of stuff with SMB Foundry lately.
You've also made some stuff for SMB3 ROM hack races. We've done the Monday Kaizo races, which have been pretty fun. Yeah,
the monthly SMB3 Kaizo race is one Monday every month we've been doing. And those levels are almost made exclusively by me, Kangaroos Are Cool, and Orange Expo. So.
Hey, I know those names.
Yeah, Kangaroos Are Cool was mentioned earlier.
Great job, my friend. Great run.
Well, thank you. And there I am in the credits, too. So I've been playing this game a long time, since before it was even done. I should be good at it, I guess. But yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys got what you wanted out of an SMB3 run, you know. Always scary coming into this this super SMW heavy community and showing you guys something different. But I like to do it, so whenever you guys will have me, I'll be back to do more.